Shalom, call halal Yahweh, Bahashem, Yahweh Shai, Bahashem, Rakah Kradash, and double honors to the apostles and the elders and the bishops of Great Millstone, and Shalom to you, hopefully elect, beloved brothers and sisters. Peace be unto you. As you can see in the short that I have lined up for you on the screen, if you're looking at the screen, it reads, Furious world leaders blast Donald Trump and declare him an enemy. Reading down a little further, it reads, European leaders declare Donald Trump and the United States as an enemy as the U.S. prepares to invade Greenland. And as you can see here on the screen, it reads, they are ready for war. Now, why should this matter to you? Because this is all outlined in prophecy, all right? Now, I want to start here. I want to go back a week because I started this story here. It caught my attention approximately about a week or two ago. And, you know, with the recent update, it's only fitting that, you know, we start here in the book of Revelation, the 17th chapter, because how does NATO and the EU and America all tie in together in prophecy? Revelation, the 17th chapter, and I'll start around about at the 13th verse. And hopefully this lesson is edifying, quick, and to the point. And it reads, So he carried me away in the spirit. This is when John the Revelator was shown what was going to happen in the last days. So he carried me away in the spirit into the wilderness, and I saw a woman sit upon a scarlet-colored beast, full of names of blasphemy, having 7 heads and the 10 horns. Well, who is the woman that's sitting on top of this beast? That woman is America. Now, the 7 heads is NATO, and the 10 horns is the EU, all right? Now, I'm going to play this here. Bear with me 1 second. As a matter of fact, before I play this, I wanted to read this from the AI overview, right? And it reads this: European leaders and citizens increasingly view Donald Trump and his America First policies as a significant threat, with polls showing nearly half of Europeans see him as an enemy, citing concerns over democratic values, weakening NATO, trade dispute, tariffs, sanctions, and potential deals with Russia that undermine Ukraine, leading to a severe rift and distrust in the transatlantic ties, according to late 2025 reports. And essentially all this is leading to World War III. You understand? And let me come out of this here, because the scriptures tells us the third woe cometh quickly. I'm going to play a few videos, and I'm going to get right back into the scriptures. And I hope through the spirit and the power of Yahweh, Bahashem, Yahweh Shai, is edifying and to the point. Watch closely.
The message is clear. Washington wants Europe to shoulder more of its own defense. A Reuters report says the Pentagon told European diplomats that nations have until 2027 to take over most of NATO's defense capabilities. That's everything from intelligence to missiles and troop deployments, roles the US has dominated for decades. If they don't, the US could decide to stop participating in some NATO defense coordination mechanisms. The Trump administration's pressure on NATO allies is nothing new. In March, Trump had already questioned whether he'd defend countries that don't spend enough.
Well, I've said that to them. I said, if you're not going to pay, we're not going to defend. I said that 7 years ago. And because of that, they paid hundreds of billions of dollars. I said, if you're not going to pay your bills, we're not going to defend you.
The Pentagon staff who set the deadline haven't laid out how the US would measure Europe's progress. But European officials say 2027 is unrealistic. Even the EU's own 2030 target for military self-reliance is seen as ambitious, and many key US capabilities can't be replaced quickly. Washington's relationship with NATO runs hot and cold. Back in June, Trump was applauding European leaders for backing a plan to raise defense spending to 5% of GDP. But in the months since, he's shown a willingness to negotiate with Russia over the war in Ukraine. And his Deputy Secretary of State told NATO foreign ministers this week it was obvious Europe should take primary responsibility for its own security.
Okay, mamas, come.
Let me come from here, right? Let me grab another quick scripture, right? This is the book of Revelation, the 17th chapter, and I'm going to jump down to the 15th verse. And it reads, And he said unto me, The waters which thou sawest, where the whore sitteth, are people and multitude and nations and tongues. Now, the way America, which is the whore, scripturally, in Revelation, the 17th chapter, sitteth upon many waters, is due to her military bases that she has around the world. All right. And it tells us this here. U.S. military presence around the world, the U.S. has about 750 bases in at least 80 countries around the world. It has approximately 173,000 troops deployed in 159 countries. You see that, right? We're commanded to write the vision and make it plain, okay? I'm going to read verse 16, and we're going to get back to this next short here. Let's come from here. Let's go to this short here, and I'm only going to play this short up to the 2-minute and 36-second mark, because you have to hear what he says at that specific point, right? And it reads, I first want to read Revelation, the 17th chapter and the 16th verse. And the 10 horns, and the 10 horns is the EU, which thou sawest upon the beast. The beast is NATO. These shall hate the whore is America, and shall make her desolate, and shall eat her flesh, and burn her with fire. And how's that going to happen during World War III? Again, remember the scriptures tell us the third woe cometh quickly, because all of this is leading to the Third World War, all right? And how are they going to burn her with fire? When they fire off those thermonuclear intercontinental missiles, hitting America, turning it into a smoldering lake of fire, okay? And why is that? Because Esau, Edom, that red horse, has taken peace from the earth, as outlined in Revelation, the 6th chapter and the fourth verse. But let me get into this here.
Von der Leyen, the president of the European Union Commission, says
your phone would start glitching. Let me go back to this here.
The following: Arctic.
Let me wind this back a bit.
Furious European leaders are now declaring the United States under the Trump regime to officially be an enemy, to officially be an adversary, to be a, quote, systemic adversary. That's the language being used by a French general, Nicolas Richoud. He says the USA are now a systemic adversary, and similar measures banning entry into European areas are essential against the United States. This, as the United States State Department has sanctioned European leaders, banning them from entering the United States. Europe is also saying that if the United States dares to invade Greenland, as the United States is threatening to do, Europe is prepared to go to war against the United States and Donald Trump. This is what it has come to. Europe, our former top allies, are now having to speak firmly that they are ready for war against the Trump regime, and that they are prepared for reciprocal sanctions against Donald Trump and the...
You see that? And this is Revelation, the 17th chapter, coming into fruition. But wait, there's a little bit more.
United States. And by the way, this comes as the United States has been meeting with top Russian officials in Miami to again try to figure out how to force a surrender upon Ukraine. So while the U.S. is meeting with Russia in Miami to plot conquest of Ukraine and conquest of Greenland, you have Europe saying enough is enough of this crap. Europe and world leaders are absolutely furious. You have one of the deputy prime ministers and the foreign minister of Poland expressing how Poland supports the territorial integrity of the allied kingdom of Denmark. And in spite of political division, we need to stand and defend international law and the principles of the inviolability of borders. This sentiment was echoed by French President Emmanuel Macron, who also stated in Nuuk, which is the capital of Greenland, I reaffirmed France's unwavering support for the sovereignty and territorial integrity of Denmark and Greenland. Greenland belongs to its people. Denmark stands as its guarantor. I join my voice to that of Europeans in expressing our full solidarity. This is Europe warning Donald Trump that it will go to war against the United States if the Trump regime dare invades Greenland. Like, do we understand what's taking place before our eyes?
Do we understand what's taking place before our eyes? And that's the point that I wanted, because should we be of the elect, we've been given that eye salve through the Spirit and the power of Yahweh Bahashim Yahweh Shai to understand what's taking place, what's happening spiritually according to prophecy. This is Revelation, the 17th chapter and the 17th verse, and it reads this, because this is going to happen. And it reads, for the Most High hath put it into their hearts, heart meaning what? Their mind, to fulfill his will, and to agree to give their kingdom unto the beast, until the words of the Most High shall be fulfilled. And I hope through the Spirit and the power of Yahweh Bahashim Yahweh Shai, this lesson has been edifying and to the point. Shalom.